Today I'm shooting a $2.3 million house. I'm going to be pulling back the curtain to show you my complete guide on how I shoot luxury homes, start to finish. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the gear. For the camera body, I'm shooting on the Canon R6 Mark II, and attached to that is the Canon RF 15 to 35mm f 2.8, all resting on a DJI RS3 Pro. Now this, plus one other lens that we'll talk about in a little bit, is my entire setup. So with that all said, let's get into shooting the property. So the first and most essential shot that I use for all my real estate videos is going to be the wide, straight push shot. And it's pretty self-explanatory, but we're shooting all the way at 15mm. I'm just gonna be walking in a straight line. This is a great shot to show off as much of the space as possible. So I'm gonna show you this coming into the living room behind you. So what I'll do, I'm gonna get as much distance as possible. So here I am in the dining room. And as you can see here, there's Jeremy, but behind him is the living room, and that is my composition. So I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna bend my knees, my elbows are tucked in. My finger is actually pressed on the lock hold button, and I'm just gonna move nice and straight. So I'll go 3, 2, 1. And extend as far as possible. So as you can see, nice and straight, you get to see the entire space, and that is a fundamental shot that I use for my real estate videos. So my second most commonly used shot in the videos that I create is the wide curve push. So similar to the wide straight push, although this time you could probably guess we're adding a curve into the shot. And this shot is really great for kind of moving around furniture, but also showing off different aspects of the space that you just can't quite get with the wide straight push shot. So to do the wide curve push, it's very similar. I'm gonna bend my knees, my elbows are locked in. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all my pressure on my top hand, my top wrist, and I'm gonna twist it as I'm walking. So I'm gonna do the same thing into the living room here. There you go. Same thing, getting as much distance as possible. It's a really great shot because you can see all of the living room here, but also sneak peeks of the kitchen. And those curves are really great to link together through other curve shots that I'll use throughout the video. Okay, and the third staple shot that I'm gonna use is called the mid perspective. So I'm gonna zoom in my lens from 15mm to about 24mm. I'm gonna find something that I can use as foreground. So here in front of me, I've got a little table and a plant, and I want my subject to be the fireplace. I'm gonna bend down, and as you can see here in my frame, I've got the table and the sofa and the plant here as foreground. And I'm just gonna kind of push and turn around the plant. So it's gonna look kind of like this. So we're kind of moving past the foreground, and it just adds that extra cinematicness to the shot, if you will. All right, so a super important thing about creating high level real estate videos is going to be focusing on composition. And the best way to do that is to look for leading lines. So here we have the kitchen, and I'm gonna show you here in what I'm seeing on the camera. We have all these leading lines right down the gullyway. We've got the island top, the countertop here, and then we've also got the beams and whatever, the wall over there. So they're all leading to intersect right in the middle of my frame, which is going to be kind of that mudroom cabinet area. So I'll show you as we're going to move through this space. I feel like a wide straight push is going to be super great for just accentuating all these leading lines. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. So as you can see in that shot, the lines are just nice and straight, nice and smooth, all leading to the final destination. All right, in this space, I'm gonna give you guys a few more pointers on how to do the ninja walk super effectively, because that is the key to having those ultra smooth ramps and smooth shots is your ninja walk. A gimbal will not fix all your problems. So I'm gonna bend my knees nice and kind of like a half squat. My elbows are tucked into my sides. I'm actually gonna lean forward a little bit. So my momentum, my body momentum is gonna carry me forwards. And I'm gonna be stepping nice, heel toe. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. And there you go. So stepping heel toe, my head is nice and level. If my head is level, I know the camera's gonna be pretty level. And that is how you should approach your ninja walk for every single shot. A super underrated way to make your videos have that little extra sauce is to follow the light. So right now you can see we have incredible exterior lighting. It's a bit twilight. We shot all the interior, already actually shot the exterior, but it's kind of gloomy, kind of gray. Now the light is popping. So I'm gonna show you my essential or kind of my fundamental exterior shot, which is the wide straight push shot to the front facade. So I'm gonna line up, gonna get my composition here. And obviously there's like a lot of glass here and it's kind of reflective. I don't want my reflection to be in the video. So I'm gonna line up kind of right with the door frame. So that way we won't see my reflection. Tilt the camera up a little bit to see the entire facade, the entire front of the house. And here we go. All the way. No reflection, super sick shot of the light. And those are all my wide shots. So once I've finished capturing all the wide shots, I'm gonna switch lenses and get some really nice detail shots. So this lens here is the Canon 24-105, and I typically use it around that 50 to 85 millimeter mark. I found that is the sweet spot for getting detail shots, and I'm gonna show you a few examples. So my first example of a detail shot, I'm gonna be at 85 millimeters. And what's super important for these is you wanna get as much depth as possible. Foreground, midground, and a subject or background. So I'm gonna be shooting into the living room here. The fireplace is my subject. If I squat down a bit, I get a little bit of the sofa, I get that table there, and I'm gonna use the wall here as my foreground. I'm just gonna twist around, some nice movement in there. And that is a really clean shot, and detail shots are just so good for mixing in throughout the edit to make them a little bit more dynamic. And for my final detail shot example, I'm using 50 millimeters because we're in kind of a little bit of a more tight space. And from right here, there's not much foreground. So when you don't got foreground, you make some. Join me in the shower. Spacious shower. And I'm actually gonna use the door here as my foreground to shoot the vanities. So I'm just gonna then push forwards. And there you go. That's how to use detail shots in tighter spaces. So there you have it. That is my entire start to finish process for how I film luxury homes. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments. With that all said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Take your time, but your face